Amy Rose is a character that's been stuck on the sidelines longer than the actual sidelines. Calling her a bench warmer is an insult to the concept of benches. At this point, Amy is the bench. She's been sitting in the background for so long, Sega might as well start charging her rent for the spot. And look, it's not that she's irrelevant. Amy shows up in the games. She smiles, she waves, she swings a hammer sometimes. But when you really step back and ask, what does Amy actually do? That's where things start to unravel. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying she's a bad character. Far from it. She has potential. Amy is passion. Amy is persistence. Amy is that one person in your friend group who's down for anything as long as it means helping the people she loves. But for some reason, the games never seem to let her be that. Not consistently anyway. And that's why I want to talk about her, because something weird is happening. In the IDW comics, Amy is finally getting the development we've all wanted for years. She's stepping up, she's leading, she's making hard choices, and yet even there, she's almost a complete character. Almost! So what's the deal? Why can't we seem to define who Amy really is? Why does Sega keep pushing her to the edge of the stage right before she gets to say something meaningful? Why does the fandom either meme on her or forget she exists? And the biggest question of them all, Amy is essential. She's part of the core Sonic cast. She's been here since the 90s. She's brave, loyal, and driven. So why does no one seem to care? Welcome to Tails Nexus, the only place where the world's biggest Tails fan spends way too much time talking about everyone except the two-tailed wonder himself. Today, we're taking a break from the Tails timeline to talk about someone else. Someone who's been swinging a hammer and waiting for a moment since 1993. No, I'm not talking about a mythical rose that blooms once every 4 kajillion years atop a snowy mountain guarded by time-traveling echidnas. I'm talking about Amy Rose. That's right, the pink menace, the hammer-swinging hopeful romantic, the girl who's been chasing Sonic's heart longer than most of us have been alive. And yet, somehow, Sonic Team doesn't seem to know what to do with her. But before we dive into Amy's emotional rollercoaster of a character arc, I want to give a massive shout out to Dexnick, one of the legends from my Discord server who suggested this video idea. Honestly, great call. The second they brought it up, I knew it had to happen, because Amy is a character with so much potential and so little payoff. And while we're on the topic of amazing community shoutouts, I also want to highlight a comment from a recent video, my Why You Love Tails deep dive. Commenter About Huda left a beautifully written take on why Tails resonates with them, and honestly, I couldn't agree more. They even said Tails deserves his own Sonic Frontiers style game. And you know what? Yes, Huda, manifest that. Speak it into existence. Tails needs his time in the spotlight now! But today, it's Amy's turn. This video is going to explore what makes Amy special, how the IDW comics have almost nailed her character, why she's so often sidelined in the games, and what she really brings to the team beyond just unrequited love and pink aesthetics. We're talking character growth, thematic value, missed opportunities, and emotional weight. So grab your favorite Sonic plushie, your Twinkle Park themed hoodie, and a snack with emotional support properties, because we're diving deep into the Chaos Emerald shaped identity crisis that is Amy Rose. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. No, not Big the Cat wearing a dress shirt, I'm talking about Amy's character. What is it? Out of all her iterations, which one are we supposed to take seriously? In short, the answer is, yeah, exactly. Amy's character is a scrambled jigsaw puzzle with pieces from 5 different boxes. Sometimes she's the hammer-wielding love interest chasing Sonic around like she's starring in a rom-com from another dimension. Other times, she's borderline yandere, but like PG-rated with less murder. Then she'll turn around and be a pure-hearted optimist, offering her heart and hope to anyone who needs it. And right when you're starting to buy that, boom, she's suddenly the glue holding Team Sonic all together. The dependable, emotional rock, the mature strategist. And the worst part? None of these are wrong! But they also don't feel cohesive. It's like Sonic Team made a parfait but forgot the spoon. So we're just slapping the sides of the cup and hoping some character development falls out. The truth is, Amy Rose has all the pieces of an amazing character. But Sega, Sonic Team, and let's be honest, sometimes even we the fans can't decide which version of her should take center stage. So instead, we get a bunch of half-starts, no real payoff, just fragments, and after a while, that makes it hard to care. even if deep down we want to. So how do we fix this? Well, if Sega won't pick a lane, then maybe we should. As a community, maybe we have to take that first step, agree on what core of Amy's character we want to see rise from the Chaos Emerald rubble. And hey, I've got a proposition. Introducing Amy Rose. She's a sweetheart with boundless love for animals, nature, and the harmony that ties it all together. Guided by her trusty tarot cards, Amy doesn't just chase fate, she interprets it. She taps into the energy of the world around her, letting the wind, the trees, and the stars whisper their secrets. One day, her cards warned her a great evil would soon rise, threatening to plunge the world into chaos. But in that same spread, the cards spoke of a hero, one fast enough to outrun the darkness, a blue blur destined to defy the storm. That hero was Sonic. Amy knew she had a role to play, not to be a damsel or a tag-along, but to share her heart, to strengthen his. And as time passed, more allies appeared. Tails, the gentle genius. Knuckles, the stubborn guardian. Amy realized the battle wasn't just about stopping evil, it was about helping her friends grow, to nurture the seeds of hope Sonic planted, and to help them bloom them into strength. And when words weren't enough, she picked up her Pico Pico hammer, the embodiment of her spirit. Bright, bold, unbreakable. A symbol that even kindness can strike back. That is Amy Rose, a bridge between hearts, a wielder of love, a warrior of the spirit, and all of it under 200 words. And everything in that description, it ties everything about Amy together. Her compassion, her cards, her courage, her love for Sonic, her place on the team, and yes, even the oversized hammer. She isn't just a sidekick or a comic relief or the girl. She's the heart, the one who reminds the heroes why they fight. So next time someone says Amy doesn't have a real character, just take them to this video. Now look, if I genuinely believe Amy is essential to the Sonic franchise, and I do, then that raises a pretty big question. Why is she sidelined so often? Well, my honest take? Sonic Team just doesn't know what to do with her. It's like they're holding this glittery rose-colored puzzle piece and staring at the box art trying to figure out where she fits. But the box art is just a JPEG of Sonic doing a spin dash and exploding a robot. Take the IDW comics for example. They almost gave her a role, but even there, she kind of almost became Paperwork Gal. Like, really? That's what you do with the girl who swings the hammer the size of a car and reads the future? But here's the thing, it's not just Amy. It's kinda hard to slot anyone into the spotlight when the games are laser focused on one guy with blue quills and a grudge against egg-shaped men. These games are often about Sonic soloing some ancient beast because it woke up on the wrong side of history, or, becoming besties with a villain via an emotionally charged fist bump over a flaming barrel in slow motion. Normal guy stuff. The problem is systemic. The games are made to center Sonic, which makes giving anyone else meaningful development hard. And because Amy is often framed through her connection to Sonic, if he doesn't have room for meaningful bonds in a game, neither does she. But that doesn't mean she's not important. It just means it's time to start telling bigger stories. Ones where Amy isn't just the support, she's the spark. Now, on the other hand, and I swear I keep bringing them up over and over again, the IDW comics. They're a prime opportunity for Amy to finally grow, to really step into a defined, meaningful role. And honestly, she's so close, like almost there. The pieces are all on the table, the leadership, empathy, strength, intuition. They've just never fully locked in yet. She's being written better for sure, but we're still waiting for that one moment, that one genuine, raw, heart-to-heart conversation with another character where Amy just opens up, because that's all she really needs. Just one scene that shows us she's not just here to swing a hammer or file paperwork. She's got value, she's got wisdom, she's got heart. Amy has something of merit, and it's right there, just waiting for the writers to let it shine. So, we've gone over what Amy could be, what she should be, and why she keeps getting benched. But now, it's time to actually ask the big question. What does Amy actually bring to the table? And no, I'm not just talking about her giant hammer, although, let's be real, if we were judging by blunt force trauma alone, Amy might be the strongest in the group. Like, Sonic's out here spin-dashing robots and Amy's flattening tanks with the enthusiasm of someone swatting flies at a picnic. But her strength isn't just physical. The hammer is a symbol, not just a gimmick. It represents her resolve, her willingness to fight for what she loves, to protect those around her, and stand her ground even when the world underestimates her, which it always does, constantly and unfairly. See, Amy is one of the only characters in the Sonic universe whose strength comes not from ego, rivalry, or cool factor, but from empathy. She cares, really cares. She's the one dragging everyone back on their feet when they fall. She's the one reminding the team why they're fighting in the first place. She's the heart of the group, not just the hype. Where Tails brings invention and intellect, Knuckles brings power and tradition, and Sonic brings speed and swagger, Amy brings heart, balance, and unity. She brings a sense of emotional awareness that often gets lost in the fast-paced punch robot now think later tone of Sonic's world. She's not just a sidekick, she's a stabilizer. She reminds Sonic of what he's fighting for when he forgets. She's someone Tails can confide in without being overshadowed. And Knuckles? Honestly, she's one of the few who can keep him from storming off in a self-righteous huff every other minute. She's a friend to everyone, even when she doesn't have to be. And let's not ignore the spiritual side either. Her connection to nature through tarot, her instinct for emotional intuition, her quiet sense of justice, all of these give her a unique role in the team dynamic. She's not just a fighter or a cheerleader, she's the soul. She's the only one looking at the battle and thinking, how does this end in healing? Not just victory, healing. And that's something this franchise desperately needs more of. Amy brings softness to a cast that can sometimes feel too hard-edged. But more importantly, she brings growth. Sonic is the unshakable speedster. Knuckles is the eternal guardian. Tails, for the most part, is the tech genius kid. Amy? She's the one with room to grow. She can change, she can evolve, and she has. We've seen glimpses of her potential in IDW. We've seen her be a leader, a caretaker, a strategist, a fighter, and an optimist. All she needs now is just that final push. Just one moment, one game, one story that finally says, yes, this is Amy, this is who she is, and this is why she matters. Because if you ask me, Amy doesn't just deserve a seat at the table. She should be the one reminding everyone why they sat down together in the first place. So, what did we learn today? Amy Rose isn't just some pink hedgehog with a crush. She's not just some comic relief, or a tag-along, or a character who only shows up to get ignored by the plot. She's a warrior of heart, a spiritual guide, a team builder, and one of the most emotionally rich characters Sonic Team has ever almost figured out how to write. That's the tragedy and the opportunity. Because Amy has everything she needs to be iconic. The tools, the charm, the narrative role. All she's missing is the commitment from the Sonic Team to let her grow and shine without being reduced to girl with hammer likes blue man. And maybe, just maybe, if we as a community keep reminding the world why Amy matters, if we keep talking about her, uplifting her best moments, and pushing for her development, then one day she'll finally get the spotlight she deserves. So here's to Amy, the tarot reading, hammer swinging, emotionally resilient, heart of the team legend in the making. And here's to hopefully she finally gets off the bench and into the story. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into Amy's character, consider leaving a like, sharing your thoughts in the comments, or telling me what your version of Amy looks like. I read all your comments, even the unhinged ones, and I love seeing how this community brings characters to life. And as always, keep flying high.